Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex. Not the usual person that does this. Trevor and Adrian are usually on here, but today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Facebook with you guys. So if you could just pop through in the chat box there to the right and let me know if you guys can hear and see me, and then we will get started. And I know we're a little bit early, so I'll just kind of hang out and wait for a little bit, make sure we're on here. All right, so I see some folks trickling in here. Just going to give them a couple more minutes to get situated. If you can hear and see me, can you let me know by popping a note through in the chat box there on the right? Sweet, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. All right, so let's dive in. Let's get started. I want to respect your guys' time. Thank you, Terrence. I want to respect your guys' time. And we'll get going right now. So as we always do on these calls, I want to share some of our newer content with you. We did a Carrot cast with someone who has a pretty amazing story. She actually flatlined for 90 minutes. So she has an interesting perspective on life. So Trevor sat down with her and chatted about kind of how we view life and goals. And if you haven't had a chance to check out that podcast, I strongly recommend it. And then 5 common Facebook marketing objectives or objections from real estate investors. And we teamed up with Kylie at Silver Street Marketing. He's running some ads for Carrot customers and doing exceptionally well. So he kind of helped us write that piece there, and it's really good, especially if you're kind of on the fence about Facebook. Hopefully I can remove some of those objections on this call, but that's a great piece of content. And then Trevor did an awesome podcast about hiring. We've grown quite a lot here at Carrot in the last year. We're up to 14 new members, or 14 employees, staff members. So yeah, we've definitely done some hiring in the last year or so. And so that's some good insight from Trevor on that. Some awesomeness, the weekly dose of awesomeness. We got a text from Jonathan saying he got his first seller lead. He's heading out to take a look at the property. So we love hearing this. I would encourage you guys, if you guys get some leads or close a deal, send us a text or send us a message and let us know. We like to celebrate those wins with you guys. So here, Jonathan's just kind of talking about how he got his first seller lead through organic search, which is outstanding. We love doing that. And then hopefully with this coaching call, we can show you guys some ways to get some of those leads through Facebook marketing in the short run. All right, so for those who don't know me, because I don't always do those calls, I wanted to quickly share a little bit about myself. That's me right there with my wife and 2 of my best buddies and their wives. I help out with the growth in the marketing here at Carrot. I graduated from the same college as Trevor, different years, of course, but we both went to a small little school down in Southern Oregon. I have a degree in marketing. I actually run the Facebook ads for Carrot and a couple other investors. I'm an avid reader. My goal this year is to read 20 books. I'm a little bit behind on that, but still got plenty of time to make that happen. And then on Carrot side, I always love testing and analyzing the data in analytics and conversion tests. And I also love front-end development. So the design and the things that kind of convert people, I love digging into that stuff with Trevor and the rest of the team here. All right. Hey, another Alex is on the call. What's up, Alex? Great name. My goal for you on this call is to get comfortable in Power Editor. For those who don't know, Power Editor is the platform that Facebook gives us and allows us to run ads. Anytime I talk with somebody who's kind of getting started with Power Editor, I hear a lot of misgivings or apprehension, like it's too confusing. I'm not exactly sure how to use it. So my goal for you is to allow you to just kind of understand how it all works without having to spend hours reading blogs and tutorials trying to figure it out. So here's what we're going to cover on this call. And pop through questions as you have them. I'll take some time to pull away and make sure I'm answering those. Of course, we're going to show you the basics of Power Editor. I'll briefly hit on Power Editor versus Ads Manager, which is the other platform that Facebook gives us. That's kind of an interesting thing, is like, why is there two? You have to remember Facebook is used by huge corporations who might have, thousands of ads and be spending, $100,000 a month or a week or whatever. So Power Editor is kind of geared towards the ability to make a lot of changes quickly. Ads Manager is much more simple, kind of for the beginner. But in my personal opinion, it's always better to kind of learn the full feature set of a tool like Power Editor, so you can kind of just naturally scale into it. So that's kind of the difference there, but we'll cover that a little bit more later. The ads hierarchy. So this is really important in understanding Power Editor. So I will take some time going through that. I'll show you a couple neat features in Power Editor that I really like to use. And then I'm actually going to launch a campaign for my personal Carrot site. I think I ran through my ad spend a couple weeks ago. So it's time to refresh that. So I will do it live on this call. And then maybe in a couple weeks, we can have a follow-up call and take a look at the data and see if I am able to get any leads through it. All right, so first things first, I know we'll go into the basics of Power Editor, but I kind of want to explain the ad hierarchy in a visual form, and then we'll hop into Power Editor and start clicking around. So this is, if you can understand one thing from this call and take it away, I would hope it would be this. This is how ads are ran in Facebook. So at the very top here, you can set the overall campaign budget. So what that means is you can tell Facebook, look, I only want to spend $100 and then stop showing my ads. Or I want to show $500 in ads and then I will tell you kind of how I want that to be spent. So over here, and then at the top here, you're going to tell it what kind of campaign. What is the objective? Is it a like campaign where you're asking people to like your page? Is it content like a blog post where you want them to click and read more? Is it a conversion campaign where it's like I want them to come to my website and then opt in on my form? So the reason why you have to set that is because Facebook gives you different options in your campaigns based on what type it is. So for instance, on the conversion campaign, Facebook will ask, okay, what type of conversion is this? And you tell them, and they listen for that conversion. And so whenever that pixel fires on your website, they will mark it off in your ads report as a successful conversion. Also, Facebook tries to show ads to people who are likely to convert. And how they know that is they've clicked on other people's ads and converted. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for real estate. So if they saw a t-shirt ad and they bought the t-shirt, Facebook's going to say, okay, we know that they convert from Facebook. So more than likely they will on other ads. So that's kind of what you're getting at the ad set or at the ad campaign level. Okay. You have to set something. From there, it's a step under and it's called an ad set. Now, an ad set is basically who do you want to see your ad? It could be a retargeting audience. So somebody who's previously come to your website. It could be an interest-based. So for instance, maybe they're a home buyer who likes DIY projects, X, Y, or Z. Some other common ones could be interests are things like they follow a mortgage broker or something like that. So that they likely are financing their home. And then you can get into demographic and geographic-based audiences. So they live within 10 miles of, say, Cincinnati. They're a woman between the ages of 25 and 50, that kind of stuff. So that's what you set at the ad set level. And then over here on the right, I'm telling you that you can tell Facebook how much you want to pay per audience. So again, maybe you say, I want to spend $500 on this campaign. I want to spend $100 on my retargeting audience. I want to spend $250 on my interest-based audience. And I want to spend the rest on the demographic audience, okay? And then finally, the most easy to understand are, of course, the ads. So that's what you actually see on Facebook, and you set that under here, so then Facebook can tie it to an ad set, knowing, okay, I can spend $100 again on ad 1 for my retargeting, and so on and so forth, right? All of that has to connect back here, so it's not going to spend more than $500, and it's going to be optimized for the campaign that you're specifying. So does that kind of make sense, guys? Is that new to you? Did you kind of already know that? Hit me with some feedback in the chat there and let me know if this is kind of on par with your knowledge or if I'm going too quickly. And I can kind of tailor the rest of the conversation. Just going to give you guys a minute here. Let me know what you're thinking. I see a couple folks typing, so I'll wait a second here. Cool. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, so that's good stuff. So sweet. Just giving TK a minute here. Looks like he's sending a message through, and then we'll continue on. Okay, yeah, so TK is saying he's a little confused on the difference between targeting and the others. Perfect. I'll dive into that right now. It's a lot easier for me to actually show you in an account than it is, in a quick graph I made. So yeah, let's get into that right now. Here you'll see up here in the tab. So we're in Power Editor. Okay. When you log into your Facebook account, sometimes it'll toss you in Ads Manager, which looks similar, but has a couple less features. So you will see this. You just hop up over here and go to Power Editor. And you will see here campaigns, ad sets, ads, right? So these are the 3 I was talking about. Okay, so again, at the campaign level, you can see here, like this is a lead form ad that I ran. These are leads. This is a purchase, so this is a conversion campaign. Link clicks, conversion, link clicks. So you can kind of see I've been running a couple different ones. This is on my personal site. So this is at the campaign level. At the ad set level, right, these are my audiences. And this is going back to what you were talking about, TK, where it's like, how do you know what this is? So let me just hop into one of these and I will actually show you. So I'm in the Vancouver, Washington market. For those of you who don't know, it's just right over the border in Washington. So Portland is kind of right below us. So my audience here, I named it Retargeting Plus Vancouver. I set my daily budget, so $10. So remember, my campaign might be at 100, and I'm telling Facebook just spend $10 a day. So my ad would run for 10 days. It's going to give you an estimated daily results. In my opinion, it's sometimes accurate, but I'd hold it as a grain of salt. It'll kind of show you how many people you're expecting to reach. I actually sometimes will set an end date just so I can kind of control my spending. I like to have them go through the weekends. Okay, so here, TK and everybody else, this is what I was talking about with your different audiences at the ad set level. Okay, so anybody, I'm excluding anybody who has ever two-step opted into my website. Now I will show you guys. This is kind of getting down the rabbit hole, but I will show you guys how to make this audience here in Facebook. I've done another call previously on that, where I go into more detail on that. So. But I'll show you guys that. And then this audience is location based. Okay. So Battleground, Ridgefield, Vancouver, the 3 biggest towns near me. I'm going within 10 miles of them. I could spread that out more, but once you get up here in this part of Washington, there's a lot of older houses in areas that I'm not interested in investing. So I'm kind of keeping it nice and close in here. And I'm looking for, I'm targeting an older demographic here because in the Vancouver area, there's some neighborhoods with really old houses that are distressed. So I'm just doing a location-based ad here, right? When I was talking the interest stuff, we could come in here and say, homeowners, future military homeowners, if you wanted to maybe target people who are moving quickly, if you have a big air base in your location. So you can kind of come through here and set the ad ad set as you like, and you can actually just click save this audience, and it'll save it so you can use it on other ads. Okay. You optimize or pick where the ads are shown. So for those who don't know, Instagram is owned by Facebook. So I turned off, you don't have to have an Instagram account to show ads on Instagram. It'll use your Facebook page info. But I turned it off of Instagram Audience Network just because my spend is so small. I don't want to spend, say, like $6 on Facebook, $2 on Instagram, and $2 on the Audience Network. I want all $10 going to Facebook. On a much bigger spend, if you wanted to reach more people, it might make sense to add these on, but I would just recommend going with Facebook first. All devices that's recommended, that's iOS, Android, all that kind of stuff. Just, you can leave that kind of stuff alone. Again, this is a link click campaign, so it's optimizing for link clicks, people who click links. So, all that I would just kind of leave to Facebook and let them do it. Very difficult. Can you make the type larger? Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Let me know, does that help you guys out? Yeah, Alex, so how I got this window here to pop out is you just pick which ad set you want, and then this little pen right here. I know it's kind of weird how they do that. This will also fly out the menu, but this pen is what you want to edit. Yeah, and then like what I said on the slideshow, I was going to show you guys a couple of my favorite features of Power Editor. One of those features is in the ad set, you can actually click in here and check out the performance of it. So 45 people clicked. I was able to reach about 3,900, spent $50. It'll kind of show you, looks like women, 53% of women clicked, and then it shows you kind of the age breakdown here. Cost per result, like on demographics. So it's really good. I would recommend, if you've never ran a Facebook ad, depending on your budget, put $100, $200, $300 through it, and you can kind of see who's engaging in your ads. And then your next ad, you just target them, and you should get, a better optimization there. You can see like mobile only, who's clicking. And like, for instance, there was a campaign I ran not too long ago where it was heavily mobile. So like a lot of people on mobile were clicking. So I just turned off showing it to desktop so I can increase my spend towards mobile. And I was able to get quite a few more clicks for less money. TK, so is this best for house selling or buying? Yeah, so in all honesty, selling is a little bit tough just because, it's hard to find those people. But if they come to your website, a seller, right? So through, Google search or pay-per-click ad or whatever, retargeting them on Facebook is a great way to get back in front of them. Cash buyers is a little bit easier because you can, in Facebook, go on to the interests and say, interested in investments, interested in real estate, properties, all that kind of stuff. And you can just show an ad, be like, hey, join my list. I'll send you distressed properties, blah, blah, blah. So it can work for both. Let me just say it that way. Whenever I run ads on Facebook, I typically am looking for sellers. So that's mainly what I go after. And the reason for that is because I'm on page 2 for a lot of my search terms. I'm still working on my SEO. So I need some seller leads. I have a couple cash buyers on my list already. So yeah, I'm looking for sellers. All right, sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent, but yeah, so these are all this is retargeting. This is the Vancouver market again. These are some of my this is the Roseburg market. I have a campaign down there, or I'm sorry, a website down there. Portland markets for posts. So anytime I post a blog post on my Portland page, I'll show ads only to people in Portland who have maybe read something on my blog before. Portland cold traffic is anybody who I think might be interested in selling their house. So you can kind of see, I just have a bunch of different audiences that I've created. And then the ads themselves are tied to the ad set. So let me just hop into one of these right here for you. This is the one I ran most recently, and I think I got 2 or 3 leads from this. So yeah, you pick the page you want here. I just use a simple image, but you just talk to them like you would on your website, or if you were in front of them. You have burdensome property you want to get rid of. We're real estate investors looking to purchase properties. You pick the closing date. We bring the cash. We'll even help you move out of your home. I show a picture of kind of an outdated kitchen because that's what they can connect with. You don't want to put like a brand new house here because that's going to kind of attract retail sellers. So, you try and enter that question in their mind. If they have an unwanted property, it's like, how do I sell it? Click here to learn more. That's it. I mean, I run an ad for about $100 and I target an area, anybody that's been to my site, and see if I can't, fetch back a lead who might have visited and just needs a little bit more convincing. One other quick thing here, guys, and this is pretty cool, is you'll notice this website URL. It's kind of funky looking. So that is a campaign tracking link that we have built into InvestorCarrot. So I just create a link. And if you guys didn't know about this feature, it's pretty cool. I goofed up. I'll be honest with you guys. I goofed it up and I copy pasted the wrong one. So I do have some leads in here from that campaign, but it was the wrong link. So that's why I didn't report here. But how I would do that is just name it Vancouver Market. Maybe this is getting a little ahead of myself because I will actually run an ad here in a little bit. Pick a page you want it to go to. This would be a pay per click ad, and it's going to be on Facebook. So I'll create the link and probably end up using this link later. And then you just copy the link there. And that's the one you'd actually put here. And so it sends all that data back to your Carrot account. So, okay. So that's kind of the ad hierarchy. I hope that kind of made sense and was a little clear for you guys. So yeah, again, campaigns, ad set, ads. The reason why Power Editor is powerful for a lot of advertisers is I could come in here and say I had a campaign with like 10 ads. I could select all of them and duplicate it and maybe like turn it on in a new market, or like test a headline and just like update the headlines, which is a pretty sweet feature. If you've ever built out a campaign and you have to do the work all over again, it's kind of tedious. You can create rules here, which are pretty cool. So for instance, let's just say I'm going to apply it to this ad. I want to turn the ad off if the cost per result is greater than like say $2. And maybe I know that because if I'm paying $2 per click and I need, say 100 clicks to convert somebody, that's too expensive for me. So I'm just going to turn the ad off. So, I mean, you can kind of do some rule creation, which is pretty cool. This is a little bit advanced. I wouldn't even mess with this until you're very comfortable with your ad spend. So that is, much further down the line. But some other ads like this ad right here, this Roseburg Market one, I got like 5 or 6 leads in one weekend from this. Roseburg is where Carrot is headquartered. It's a town of about 20,000 people. So it's pretty small. It's an older town, an older community, a lot of homes that look very similar to this. And it was just a simple ad. I just, how do you sell your house fast in Roseburg, Oregon? Need to sell your house fast. Click here. Came over to my website and they opted in. One of those almost turned into a deal, but at the last minute he decided he wanted to go a different route, which is totally fine. But yeah, so the other couple things to note in Power Editor is here is where you can like take a look at your stats. So if I just wanted to see ads in the last 7 days, which I don't think I have any. Yeah, so it'll show it, but it's not going to show them as being active. You can change that here. Anytime you make a change to your ads, you'll have to basically publish those changes. So if I click confirm, it would turn this ad back on. not going to do that right now. And then if you decide, I don't want to make that change, you can just discard change. It's pretty cool. Like if I did this, I closed down my computer, I came back, Facebook is going to save this for you. So there is no save button. So don't worry about that. You'll see it kind of automatically does that, which is really nice. Again, like I could come here and just duplicate this entire campaign. What is it? Okay, so sorry, I haven't been over here looking at my questions. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. What is a PPC ad on Facebook? So PPC just stands for pay per click. So any ad that you run where you're paying anytime somebody clicks on it is a PPC ad. So yeah, basically all ads on Facebook are pay per click. Just making sure. Okay, yeah. So I'll kind of leave it up to you guys. I can go a couple different directions. I can show you inside of more campaigns. We can do some more of the retargeting stuff where I can show you how I build those audiences. Or I can just like create a campaign from start to finish if you guys want to see me do that. So let me know kind of what you want me to show you, and I'd be happy to do that. Just give you guys a couple seconds here. Let me know if you guys aren't really sure, if you just want me to keep kind of talking through some of this stuff. I'm happy to do that. I know the retargeting thing kind of is another thing that trips up people quite a bit. So if you'd rather see me go into the retargeting start to finish. Hey, Roy. So Roy's saying, can you use this to build a buyer's list for rent-to-own homes? Yes, you can. I would run the ad saying, looking to do a rent-to-own, and then just have them go to your website. Rent-to-own websites convert very well on Carrot. So it's just getting your messaging right. And then I would just target a demographic and a location and just get that message out in front of as many people as you can. Okay, start to finish. Cool. Yeah. So I will do that right now then. JB, this should help you kind of learn where to begin. I'm going to go ahead and create a campaign from scratch right now. So let's get started doing that. I'm going to do create campaign. Okay, I'm going to name this one something like coaching call so I can find it later, Vancouver market. Okay. Also I'll get some retargeting in here so you guys can, somebody's asking about the retargeting stuff. So I'll show you how I add the retargeting audience here. And then after I'm done, I'll go back. And if you haven't created a retargeting audience, I'll show you that at the kind of the end here. And just slow me down. I have a tendency, I've been told by multiple people that when I get training like this, I just go too fast. It's kind of my nature. So slow me down, ask questions. I'll keep this up and keep looking. All right. So we're going to name it. I always leave it as an auction. And what that means is basically allow Facebook to use its algorithm to determine kind of how your money is spent. I would recommend that starting off 100%. Their algorithm is a lot smarter than I am. And it kind of works behind the scenes. Okay, so remember at the campaign level, we got to pick what we're doing. So brand awareness might be great if you had like a main company site and you just wanted people to know, hey, we're in business, come check us out. Obviously not the best for maybe generating seller leads. Video views. So if you had a really kick butt, video that you wanted people to click on, Facebook would show that ad to people who typically watch a lot of videos. Page likes, of course, are going to get people to like your page. Conversions, you kind of have to do one extra step to set that up. But I like just doing traffic, meaning like get people to my website, like have them click on stuff. So for the ad set name, you can create a new one here. If you have one, you can use an existing one, but I'm going to show you guys one here. So we'll say Vancouver market plus people who came to my site. And the ad name is just going to be ad number 1 to start. All right. All right. So in here, this is at the campaign level again. Remember that? We can set a limit, which is optional. I would strongly recommend it. I forgot to do this a couple times and ended up spending more than I meant to. So the minimum is $100. Not that you can spend on Facebook, but that you can like set a campaign limit on. Don't ask me why. It's probably Facebook just kind of wanting to take some of your money. You can always turn it off in the middle and it's not going to charge you. Okay, so that's it. Now, this is a good tip. I don't know why Facebook does this, but to get to the next screen, you just click in here like this, and it'll take you from campaign to ad set. Not the most intuitive, but yeah. So let me just go back and do that one more time really quick for you guys. So we're at the campaign. We've done editing. We need to click here, and it hops us into ad set. Okay, so this is the name of the ad set, if you remember from that first screen. And here is where we're actually going to pick who we show this ad to. Okay, so again, this is going to be, it wants to know where's the traffic going. Is it going to a website or an app? This is a website, obviously. An offer is a new thing that they have. I've toyed around with it a little bit. I like it, but I haven't used it enough to like recommend it. So I would just for now skip over that. Let's set our daily budget. Let's spend about $10 a day. We'll have this kick off. Well, I don't know. This kind of stuff isn't like, it just depends. So I'll do it tonight. People get off work, get home, get the kids fed, maybe 8:30ish. They hop on Facebook to check it out. So I'll have my ad start showing then. Don't schedule an end date. So I'm going to run it as ongoing. Once it hits $100, it'll stop. So this is 10 days. So on the 25th, it'll just run out. Okay. So guys, if you don't have a retargeting audience, yeah, JB, I'll get to that here in a minute. I don't know if you hopped on late. I kind of went over that a little earlier, but I'll follow up with you on that. He asked the difference between a campaign and an ad set. So I'll cover that here in a minute. What was I saying? Oh, if you don't have a retargeting audience set up, just hang tight. I will show you how to do that. If you do have one set up, this is where you can use them. So anybody who's come to my website in the last 30 days, in the last day, in the last 7 days, I can have them added on here. And I'll show you guys how to set that up. Don't worry. And then everyone in this location, of course, I don't want it to be the United States. That's way too broad. I will say Vancouver, Washington, within 25 miles. And I'll put English in here just so if somebody had like their Facebook preferences set to Spanish or Portuguese, it's not going to show my ad. Typically 18-year-olds don't own a house. I mean, some do. So I'll kind of move this up to a little bit closer. I'm 27. I don't own a house, so I'll put it in here. A lot of my friends do, so I know it's kind of how I base things on. Yeah, and that is basically it. I could come in here and say I want to target homeowners. You can click suggestions, and Facebook will give you some hints, kind of likely to move. So that's a behavior, and Facebook does that based on like other pages and stuff that they've done. House hunting might be something interested. You can kind of just come through here and check out, maybe home renovation is something, they might want to fix it up to keep it. So that one's kind of tricky, but anyway, you can just scroll through here and kind of see if it's a demographic. An interest just means they like a page or something like that. A demographic is like in their Facebook profile, they've identified as such. And remember, Facebook has a lot of information it's pulling from third party. They're buying people's data and then they give it to us to use to show ads. Okay. So anyways, you can go through there and spend a bunch of spend a bunch of time selecting those interests. Again, we're just going to go ahead and set the automatic placements for our first one, just to kind of see where the spend goes. Let Facebook kind of optimize all of this itself. Okay. Looking good. Just going to do a oops. Do a quick check here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Looks good. Cool. And then again, to move to the ad, we're just going to click here to move over. So I need to pick the right page to run my ad. PNW Invest. You can, like I was saying on the Instagram account thing, you can just say use my Facebook page and it'll show it on Instagram by default. Okay, so you can add an image, a single image, or you could do one which is called a carousel where it's multiple images. Those tend to work really well if you had like a before and after picture or a bunch of testimonials of people and you want to just kind of like build your credibility. That would be a great ad to build. The cool thing about building an ad on Facebook is it gives us a bunch of free stock photos we can use. So when you come here to image, if you go to stock photos, you can just type in, whatever you want and use these on Facebook. But of course, these are all too new of properties. So the best to do, honestly, is if you have a property you've sold recently, just use that image. Neighborhood that people can kind of, you don't want to have a picture of a house with a palm tree if you're selling houses in the Pacific Northwest. But something like this might be, somebody might be able to connect with a out-of-date kitchen and they say, yeah, that's my kitchen. I need to sell this house. The website URL, so we can go back over here to my campaign link. Let's grab that. Link is going to be right here, this displayurl.com. So I just put my company's name there, or my domain name. Headline. So because this is going to my homepage, I want the homepage to kind of have the same your Vancouver, Washington. Let us make our be something like learn more about your options. So just taking a quick look at these questions here. Campaign link, don't you use your main seller's page? Yeah, so this is my seller website. This is the page of my main seller site here. Yeah. So there's the headline. The news feed link description is going to be down here. So that's kind of like what you tie into the headline. So something like, we are local investors looking to purchase properties that might need a lot of work. And I can't spell today either. The Grammarly app, strongly recommend it if you guys today to learn more about your options. will be what goes on top of the image. It just depends on kind of what you want. Stories on the top and trying to your ingredients and show us our ad here. Plates. So boom, ad would look like on Facebook. The call to action button. So You guys can guys. If this, yeah, I mean, I don't want to waste a bunch of your guys' time. If this doesn't, we can either schedule another call, or I'm happy to talk with you guys individually and kind of show you through some of this stuff. You guys can hear me. Looks like I'm still. Just get to the, you had to do stuff, and so just kind of anybody can confirm that they can hear me. If not, I'll go ahead and another way to kind of get this information over to you. Definitely. Again, we'll take a look and let you know. Thanks.